Hi, just now we have discussed something on JavaScript, some introductory session, right? So you all are now having some basic understanding about what is the difference between Java programming language and scripting language, and you are very well convenient with the placement of the script tag. Okay, now let us start with the programming aspect. I mean, I'll just show you some sample programs on how do we basically write this script tag, and how do we link between the form tag and the JavaScript part. Okay, so this is a normal HTML program, as you can see, and this is the head section and this is the body section. So you can see totally the head section is having the JavaScript, and you can see the script tag type is equal to text slash JavaScript. Okay, and followed by the script tag is making a call or writing the function definition, that is function blank space add. It's writing an add function where x is equal to % of. Okay, since it's not visible here, let me show you. X is equal to % of whatever input that you are doing in the txt1. Okay, so here you write it. Okay, yeah. So x equal to % dot document dot get element by id. By id, what is the id? Element id is txt1. So here we go. So right now you can see in the designing part, the body section is the part where you are designing the UI elements, that is user interface elements. What are these UI elements? The label is an element, then text box is an element, then again second number again it is an element. Okay, then again I have one more text box. So previously I have told you that the name id whatever we are using is very much important. Here txt1 is the name of the variable and txt2 is the name of another variable. And the moment I say input name is equal to add, on click is equal to add, type is equal to button, then value is equal to empty. So like this, whenever you are adding, you can write the you can write the code directly inside this. Okay, so right now you can see that this add, you are writing x is equal to % of document dot get element by id. Here you will mention txt1 and txt2, and later on you will write this txt1 plus txt2, and the result is printed. Now let's see how this program works. I'll write the first number as 2 and 5, and I'll say add result is displayed as 7. Okay, since 7 I want to display directly on the screen, I have given it like this. If you want, you can create one more text box and try to display the content in that text box as well. Okay, so it comes through mere practice of some sample programs like this that you can also start building up. Okay, there is no one way of writing this code, you can write it in your own way. So instead of writing a function like this, you can have directly written what is meant by document and how do you write this outline. Okay, that could also be done. So any of the things, not an issue. Now go for the next one, second program. Let me show you. Let's say click me. So the moment I say, this is a warning message. Okay, something like this. So that's an alert message, alert dialog box. Let's see how this works. Okay, whenever you look at this alert dialog box, you can see very clearly that the body section, yeah, let me take you to the back. And now here this is a small program which tells you about the various logical operators and comparison operators that we see. Here you can see that what are the various logical operators that you have. A double equal to b is always false. Okay, so you give some value as a variable a is 10 and b is 20, and you compare a double equal to b, it returns false because it is not equal. Okay, then you can go for the next one. It's a ternary operator. A greater than b, if it is a, if a is greater than b, then 100 is displayed. If a is not greater than b, 200 is displayed. A less than b, 100 is displayed, and a less than b, 200 is displayed. So that is how you can see the values. Okay, so you can see, yeah. If you click like this, there is an alert box. So that's what is the program about, to display alert dialog box. Okay, so I will say simply click on count. So the more number of times I'm clicking on the button, the counter is going on incrementing. That means I need to mention or I need to maintain one counter, and yeah, here it is. This is a simple programming logic, and if you are comfortable in switching between the body tag and the head section script tag, uh, nothing can actually hold you back, right? So here you can see there is a text box by name txt1 and on click event. So on click is an event which is written inside the tag. Okay, input name is equal to txt1, on click is equal to change txt, change text, type is equal to button. Okay, now in this button, the moment somebody clicks on this, there is a function called to change text. So according to the change text function call, you can see that the counter C++ is incremented, and document dot get element by id p1, in this p1 location the counter is incremented. Okay, so that's how you are now making this complete thing work. Okay, so let's move on with the next one. So dynamic content generation, these are all predefined. The date of birth, these check boxes, labels are all predefined. You could directly import them into your program. Okay, suppose you want to change the color, so you go on clicking it. I have given a toggle and between two colors, and the moment I click one time, the color is changed to red color. Okay, so simple programs like this you can give. Suppose you want to give some four colors option. The moment user selects on this and selects on the background, it keeps on changing. Okay, so you can change accordingly whatever is here. You can see I changed both of them to magenta so that nothing is visible, right? So that's how you can change, I mean you can just work on this. So let's look at the code once. So you can use a for loop, and you can see that it changes continuously. That's one program. Yeah, here is a head tag, and you can see that the function change color. Okay, so the moment there is a change in the t color, t value, then that particular t value is supplied, and the background body dot style dot color is changed to that particular color. Okay, so these are some of the programs on simple small things. Okay, so let's now switch on with the next one, that is uh, using a loop. Okay, so let's understand looping statements also, because that will give you clarity on how to use a loop inside a program. Okay, so here I have used, see I have used a for loop, and inside the for loop I am trying to use a counter, and I'm displaying the counter as document.write. Okay, and the moment I execute the program, the counter is starting from 0 to less than 10. Okay, that means 9, 0 to 9, the counter is trying to display all the numbers 0 to 9. So that's how I'm trying to display the content. Okay, that's the use of a simple looping statement. Then I'll say hello. Okay, so if I click on that, this is a normal static content that is displayed. Okay, so click on the following button to call the function. Okay, so that's how you can actually program, or you can use the looping statements. Okay, so now let me show you one quick program on the complete content. Yeah, I have a calculator with me, so I'll just show you the calculator, and typing the number 2 and number 8, and I want to add, so result is, if I want to subtract, result is minus 6. If I want to divide, it's 0.5. If I want to get the remainder, it is 2. If I want to multiply, it is 16. If I reset, I'll get it back. Okay, so this is a small calculator. I think you have struggled enough in your Java programming to write this calculator program, but here it is very simple and easy. Directly you can use a switch case statement and do this calculator program. I will just show you the code. Okay, there are four buttons, I'm sorry, five operators, and the sixth one is a button. So all the five, six operators can be used using a switch case statement, and it is pretty simple and easy to perform this switch case operation. Okay, and whatever user is clicking in the body tag, okay, wherever user is clicking in the body tag, the numbers, that is the first number and second number, they are inputted, and that input values are added up. Okay, these are pretty simple. All your C programs, the basic C programs, basic Java programs, you can use directly in order to convert them into your web pages, that now that you can see the output on your web pages. Okay, so that's how that these